Okay,
Are
it
we
looks
live?
like we are live.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello is right. So Jenny, this is super exciting that we are back here on LinkedIn. It's been a while
It
and
has been.
we it's one of those things that we keep saying that we're going to come back and do this on a regular basis and then
Mm-hmm.
summer hit. And
Yes.
then it's just like, no, it's time. So
Yeah.
why don't we introduce ourselves first and then just maybe set it up with the intention of why we're here today?
Right. Sounds good. Go ahead, Debbie. I think you go first and then I follow you.
Okay, well, thank you for that. Yeah, so if you're here following me, you probably know already that my name is Debbie Prediger, and I am the founder of two communities. One that is called Empowering You Community, and one that come on in. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. No, I thought you were the kids. That's her bedroom. So one that's called Empowering You Community and one that is a brand new one called Be Extraordinary Women's Network. And there's a whole reason why I'm the founder of those, but I'm very proud of the communities that I've built because they are great containers for entrepreneurs, heart-centered, purpose-driven, and then the new one, just extraordinary women making extraordinary moves across the globe. So that's a bit about who I am. Jenny, what about you?
Awesome. Well, Debbie, I wanted to just add to that because it's not just a community. One has about 1,000+ people. The other one has around 700 and still continuing to grow. I feel like I looked inside because, we do a lot of interaction and connection there. And I feel like there are some new members that have shown up. So it's congratulations and to build that over time. I feel is something that shows the consistency as well. So just to make sure to add to that. And so for anybody that's new here, welcome. My name is Jenny Reyes. I am what my clients call a strategic brand integrator. My company, Your Brand Story, has been around for, I want to say, 20 years now and counting. And that's kind of where my background is. Branding and marketing as we know it has evolved over time, but I do like to work in that space of making sure everything is aligned and congruent with what it is that you intend to do in the world, and have this beautiful connection and friendship with Debbie. And, the two of us have come together and brought together a program in the past. And, we're here now. We both want to serve. So I think that's something to note.
Yeah, and Jenny, thank you for that because what happens with these collaborations that are born naturally is that we sit back and we watch somebody be consistent,
Mm-hmm.
be the real thing. That's no run in, sell something, run away, and then they're off to the next thing. There is that congruency, there is that consistency, and because of that, we can feel really safe
Mm-hmm.
in being a collaborator, being somebody that helps them build their business back and forth. And I think the way I'm speaking for the two of us here is that we
Yeah.
have that relationship. And I believe that that's the relationship. That is the new way of doing business,
Right.
collaborative leadership, finding out what is the strengths of somebody else, bringing them into your ecosystem and just continuing to grow in that type of energy. Let's call it energy. We're here talking today
Yeah.
about the Lions Portal as well, and we let's bring that into the conversation. Jenny, do you want to start with because I think it was you that recognized what today was.
Yeah, no, and I up until recently, I think I have not been somebody that's been, I want to say, aware, right? I mean, it's always been there, and many people have subscribed to the idea. So what I know, and again, I'm not the the biggest expert in this, but what I know and what I've seen is that they say that the Lionsgate portal, so 8/8 every year, is one where all your manifestation is highest, right? Or anything that you're wanting to call in for your life. That's the simplest way, I think, to put it. And I hope anybody that's watching, if you know more, I'd love for you to add more in. But generally, there's a lot of meditation that, people are happen and they ask to make sure that we're clear about what we want in terms of our life, right? So I think, Debbie, you and I said, well, today we wanted to go live on a Friday. We knew this was the time. It was 8 at 8 a.m. for me. So I was like, oh, there's some little little nuggets in there, and we'll just follow that trail. And so why not talk about vision acceleration? And because that's exactly what this day calls for. Uh, Vision acceleration, any kind of acceleration on your manifestations. If that
You-
helps. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. And I hope that everybody caught that. We were clear on what we wanted. And then the breadcrumbs said, oh, you're actually already doing this. So in hindsight, you can look back at it and go, oh, we manifested that, right?
Yeah.
The opportunity showed up for us to have this
Mm-hmm.
clarity on this certain time at this certain date. Both of us do our work, our clarity. We were in a session just this week, and we talked about who am I really? And
Mm-hmm.
really doing that work to go deeper on who you are, what your beliefs are, what your BS stories are, what you're moving into, what you're releasing. That's all part of this clarity and vision that we take people through in the accelerator and that we're here to talk about today. So
Yeah.
the one thing that I will say is that when you have the energy of the Lionsgate portal or full moon or any time that you have an opportunity to use these things, it's that focus. Don't work harder, don't work wider. Focus in on what you truly want, and then use that journaling, that manifestation, that releasing, that more deeper clarity. Sometimes the clarity comes from the pause. We have to actually slow down in order to speed up, slow down to go deeper and really hear and feel. And what I say is that that's our bodies integrating. That's our physical bodies integrating with the emotional bodies, the spiritual bodies, and what's actually there for us.
Right.
So yeah, whether that's a little too woo for you, or you are deep into this and you're shouting, hooray, there's somebody finally talking about this in branding. I use it all the time in my business. And that's why I've been able to build communities that are not communities for numbers, communities for residents, communities for the energy in which everybody brings and feels when they move into that. So,
well, and I mean, clarity, it's where we always start, right? Because again, you can't really take intentional steps forward unless you actually know what and why you're doing what you want to do, and then getting clear on the how as well. So I feel like while you do start with the clarity, which is where a majority of people, are, then it always keeps coming back in, because it's like, okay, let me refine this again and let me refresh what this means. And even when I'm talking to some friends, even on a personal level, really, when it's like, well, I'm feeling this and this is what's happening, and one of them will always come back to me and say, okay, let's go back. What's clear, right? What's clear about what it is that's happening now, how you're feeling, what you've said. And then it really brings you back to reflection of what it is that's in front of you, so that you can make those next steps. I feel like that's kind of important to be able to recognize, because everybody talks about clarity, Debbie. It's not something new that's heard from you and me. Everyone says, oh, I bring clarity to this, I bring clarity to that. But then how do you actually use it so that you are very clear and you feel resonant with that clarity that you've achieved? Because it's a very much a used term, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. And I thank you for reminding me of that, because I go beyond the term. I go beyond the word. When I speak clarity, I speak that clarity, confidence, and courage goes together. And whether that is a phrase that anybody else has used, I feel that deep in my soul. I always have. So one of the things that I've told you and even students in our programs before, Jenny, is that when I work behind the scenes with Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins, we are talking millions of people. We are talking, when my Zoom room will have anywhere from 800 to 1,500 people in it at a time, and we will do that for 5 days straight. There is a whole lot of unclarity in those rooms. When Dean asks questions at front of stage, what we hear over and over and over again is, I wish I knew. I wish that somebody would share with me. Just tell me what I'm good at. What's the one thing I could teach? Do you hear this? So that's where I started building out this, like, if I could just help people get more clarity, if I could just help people understand that they already have the answers within them, that
Yeah.
I'm doing my piece in this. So it's really important for people to understand why I believe clarity is the key.
Yeah.
It is the foundational
It,
parts. When you get excited about something new and you go, I could help these many people, who do you want to help? Why do you want to help them? And Jenny, the last thing that I'll bring into this before I turn it back to you is that is the brilliance that me and you bring to the table. I
yeah.
watch you when somebody says it in a certain tone, when they light up, when they get tears in their eyes, there is always something that's saying, this is it. This is the thing that she wasn't using in her copy or wasn't speaking about enough on stages. This is the thing. So I'm passing it back to you.
Well, it's thank you, Debbie, because I believe that's why you want more than just yourself in a room and in as you're building, because then it's something you've said that maybe again, like if you lead into the, well, this is something that I've always said sometimes you forget that it's important, and you're so close to it that when somebody else comes in and points it out to you, you're like, oh, I already had that. It kind of gives it that reflection back. And I'm seeing we have Denise here, so I wanted to say hi because Denise is pointing out a couple of breadcrumb signs as well. 11:11. But yes, so that having other people there that have that different perspective, that are holding that space for you, to be able to give you back what is already there so that you are clear. I mean, I don't even know any other word to use. And then you make that small tweak, and we've seen it happen. It was like, oh, I said that. And then, the people in our program before had used it, and now all of a sudden their business is growing. They're more congruent. The overwhelm has stopped, right? And not to say that it's gone away, but it's decreased. And they're just moving with more intention as they go forward. And so I think that's something that, is pretty powerful once you're there able to share. When you said clarity, confidence, and courage, it is the confidence to say it out loud and the courage to be able to sit and go, okay, I'm waiting for that feedback. Help me please, right? Because it's sometimes you feel like, oh no, I feel silly. I feel maybe it's not the right thing. And that's, I believe we create that space to say, go ahead. We're not going to judge or laugh, or we're here to really find it, for help you find it, which it's something that you already do have. Most of the
Yeah.
time, it's just that reflection back.
Yeah, so many things that you said there. For me, that next step forward, the thing that you're trying to figure out, what is the next thing? What is the thing that I'm missing? What is the thing that I could be doing? All goes back into alignment. The
Mm-hmm.
truth of who you are, the truth of who you be. Without that, these actions are scattered. They're testing. When you are in that zone where you're truly like, oh, this is who I am, this is the people I can serve, this is the solution that I can bring to them, everything's moves forward
Yeah.
towards the light, towards the joy, towards the thing. And
Mm-hmm.
so all of a sudden your steps are intentional, as you
Yeah.
said, they are focused,
Right.
and whenever they're focused, they're stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And so what you're feeling back, the feedback, the reflection, both within yourself, but also within the community that you're serving, it's echoing back to you.
It
It's
is.
coming back like this mirror, and you're like, you're on the right track.
Right.
Let's move forward.
Yeah.
Jenny, I think we've hit on the clarity in quite a great way, but I would like to go into, okay, so Debbie and Jenny help with clarity, but what's the program about? Why this? Why now? Why
Yeah.
do we feel so strongly about this?
Right. Well, we've done the Leadership Momentum Accelerator before, and that was something that we wished, again, that was the clarity that came. We wish we had as we were building our businesses and our communities. And having that for each other has helped us also get very clear on our messaging, our branding. And the ability to help others as well, right? I believe that there were a couple of people that were interested in the Leadership Momentum Accelerator back then when we did it. I want to say pre-summer. I feel like it's been ages already. It's been a while.
They graduated in June, so it
They
really
did.
hasn't been that long.
It hasn't been that long, but then we wanted to do it again, and I think that was the request that had come before. It was like, oh, the timing will work a little bit after, and so we wanted to open up a wait list. And again, for us, Debbie, just going back to everything that we are doing, everything's intentional. The wait list is there because we are looking to find the right people and put them in the right container, to, just so that everything fits. They're a fit for us, we're a fit for you, all of those things. And we start pretty much end August, beginning of September, and go another 12 weeks. We always start with a vision, and then it's how is it translated into your own voice, your own branding? How does that come out, and how is it brought to life, right? And then I believe what adds to the uniqueness of this program is that there is a stage. You become more visible. So our 3 V's are vision, voice, and visibility. You practice actually putting on your own panel, and how does that play into what it is that you are building. And Debbie and we have a couple of people who have agreed to be faculty and experts that are coming in to share. Yeah, it's pretty exciting, to do it again. So,
Well,
anything did I miss anything? I feel like
well, yeah, I mean, we only have 20 minutes here, so we can miss a lot.
Yeah.
I think that you spoke it really clearly. What we're doing here is we're getting you more clear on who you are, so we can make sure that your brand across all of your platforms is congruent.
Yes.
So that if somebody's seen you, maybe we're watching you and they're like, yeah, but your Facebook says this and your LinkedIn says that. What do you actually do? We're confused. Confused people do not buy. So we make sure that you're consistent and congruent across those. We come up with the new terms and the language that maybe was hidden, that you didn't know was your golden thread. We make sure we're connecting the dots for you so that you have more confidence. And then that goes out to connect for your audience. We get you on stages so you start speaking as a thought leader, so that you are, when you're speaking as a thought leader, when you're on podcasts, when you're on, you create your own panel, when you start conversations that you are the expert in, which is one of the biggest questions we ask you, is what do you want to be known for? What do you want people to say about you when you're not in the room? These are important parts of it. And what happens when you start showing up as the expert, those people that have been watching you or have never met you before stand up and pay attention. There is an energy alignment, but there is a truth alignment. Mm-hmm. When you honor your truth, everybody else sees that. And it's, Jenny, we've watched it. People walk into the room and it with a new truth, and it's like, wow. And sales start coming, and your audience starts connecting with you in a deeper way.
Right. And you connect to you as well. All of a sudden, the little pieces of the puzzle that you've been building all this time start to make sense. Like, why did I start this? Why did I do that? Why did I do this? And if we think of one of the students we had, it's like, oh, I want to make sure all of that comes together because the common thread is you. So I think, Debbie, you've dropped the link in the chat, and I know we'll put it up again somewhere here. Just so if you're interested, come onto the wait list, and then when the doors open, there are a couple of bonuses that come with saying yes to yourself and yes now. So that's pretty much
yeah. And then one last thing, or a couple last things. We'll be doing these lives, so they'll build on each other. So please make sure you're following us, or you're sharing it out with your team if you feel like there's somebody that you know that could do this. This is for people that have an offer already. They know, but and for me, my ideal client is that person that's already been building something and they know they feel like they've reached a glass ceiling. They know there's more in connection, there's more in community, there's more in collaboration, and there's another level of them that's asking to be birthed. We honestly see so many brilliant, extraordinary women playing small, and they think, well, I'm not ready yet, or I don't have it all together, or I can't figure out how to connect this offer with this offer, or this talk with this talk. Maybe it's a rebirth, maybe it's a regrowing of something, but there's an opportunity here to step into something new, and that excites both me and Jenny in a huge way. Huge way. We want to get you on all those stages.
Yeah. And I think it just goes back. That's what brought me back to the clarity, the confidence, and the courage, right? And you're clear this is what you want to do, and how you want to serve. And now it's really all about, you know, stepping into it and going, okay, let me try this. That's where your confidence comes into play, and your courage to say, okay, let me look at this. Let me see if I can get people that can accelerate my growth and my business as well, or what it is that you're intending to do. Why waste
I
time?
love it. Well, Jenny, until next week, let's say goodbye and thank you everybody for joining us live. And if you come and watch the replay, we would also really love to have your comments, your aha moments. We get great feedback on questions.
Yeah.
I think I have your emails here, so I will just pop it up too. If you do have questions, if you do have questions, make sure that you reach out to Jenny. We put one email there floating
Yeah.
at the bottom that really helps us be able to know, and maybe that will be the topic of our next live. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Take care.